Hello, in this video we will be going over how to teach a NexGen News lesson. So NexGen News offers ready-based standards-based lessons differentiated for grades 3 to 5 and grades 6 to 8. These lessons accompany each news story and are a great way for students to think critically about current events. Lessons can be integrated into a variety of subject areas including English language arts, social studies, science, fine arts, and social-emotional learning. To teach a NexGen News lesson, follow these steps. So first, we'll be logging into our NexGen News account. Then you'll be clicking search or typing in the topic to find a story that you would like to teach to your class. So I'll hit the search button right here. And then you can basically type in anything into the search bar to find a story that you might be interested in. But for the sake of this video, we'll just be clicking onto this right here. So select the news story you would like to teach to your class, and then scroll down to the Teach section for the selected news story and pick the desired grade level. So scrolling down here, this is the Teach section, and as we can see, there are two different grade levels, so one for 3rd to 5th grade and another for 6th through 8th grade. Under each category, you have a choice to download a PDF version of the lesson plan directly to your device or make a copy of the lesson onto your Google Drive. If you use Google Drive often, we recommend that you click on that option. So here's PDF and here's Google Drive. For the sake of this video, I'm going to be clicking on the PDF version. And then as that downloads, we'll open up that file. Once you have the lesson plan open, take a look at the pre-teaching resources. So first off, we have the objective, and this is a learning objective students will be working towards. Next, we have standards, and these are academic skills that students will be learning or practicing in the lesson. Then we have materials, and these are resources that come with each news story. This can include worksheets, readings, rubrics, slides, and more. Make sure to use the lesson slides, as this will allow you to teach without having to reference a lesson plan in front of students. Next, we have vocabulary, and these are the words that are important to know for the lesson that students may be unfamiliar with. The lesson slides contain slides for each vocabulary word to present to students. After the pre-teaching informational sections, you'll find the motivation section of the lesson, which is right over here. This is where students watch the news clip, and it serves as an introduction and engagement into the lesson. Alright, next students will be introduced to the learning objective of the lesson and vocabulary that would be important to know. The next section in the lesson plan is the presentation, which is where you will begin to go into the actual lesson. The presentation section of the lesson is where teachers present the skill to the students. Okay, and then next we have the practice section, which is where students will practice the skill being taught or look more in depth into the topic. After the practice section is the product. This is a section where students will show what they have learned by creating a product to display their learning. Products vary from lesson to lesson, but some examples include a writing assignment, poster or digital poster, worksheet, action plan, visual art piece, and more. After the main lesson are the possible extension activities, which provides opportunities for educators to extend lessons and have students practice more of the concepts that they have learned. It's also a great resource for students that are early finishers or want to learn more about the news story. Finally, the last two parts of the lesson are the scaffolded version of the general lesson, specifically for English learners, ELs, and gifted GATE learners. There are suggested strategies for both ELs and gifted students for the presentation practice and product sections. So each part of the lesson also includes a suggested amount of time needed to complete that section. We recommend doing a lesson over multiple days. So here's an example of a lesson sequence we might suggest. So for day 1, we'll cover the motivation, learning objective, vocabulary, and presentation section. And then for day 2, we will be doing the practice section, and then day 3 would be the homework, or will be assigned as homework, which could be the product section. Of course, this is all up to you, but this is just something that we recommend. Thank you so much for watching this video, and I hope it was helpful.